Raider Nation, Raider D podcast here with breaking Raiders news for you coming straight out of the training camp. The Raiders are losing one of the veteran wide receivers, as it is now being reported by Adam Schefter of ESPN that Michael Gallop has suddenly announced his plan to retire from the NFL. He was just signed to a one-year deal with the Raiders for $3 million coming over from the Dallas Cowboys. Now, Michael Gallop was one of those guys who had a lot of promise in the beginning of his career, but he was never able to keep things going. He had a lot of injuries and inconsistencies that led him to being cut from the Cowboys. The Raiders picked him up on a very cheap deal, but he is now giving up that $3 million and deciding to go ahead and retire instead. What does this mean for the Raiders moving forward? Well, not a whole lot. Michael Gallop so far was most likely going to be the fourth overall wide receiver on the depth chart. So we're not losing a whole bunch. And we have Jalen Guyton as well, who is a speed demon and stands at 6'1". All reports that are coming out of training camp thus far, Trey Tucker is on a whole nother level this year. Entering into year 2 of his young career, he has been showing out in OTAs, minicamp, and now the first day of regular camp with the pads on. He is still looking phenomenal. So we are still set at the wide receiver position, with Davante Adams being wide receiver number 1, Jacoby Myers being the slot / wide receiver number 2, and Trey Tucker being the guy who can take the top off of the field. Throw in Jalen Guyton, who can also take off the top of the field, and the Raiders wide receiver room is still looking pretty solid. However, with all of the rumors going around about Brandon Ayuk wanting out of the San Francisco 49ers, does this mean that the Raiders may be a little bit more inclined to make an extra phone call over there to the San Francisco 49ers and inquire about a potential trade for a guy like Brandon Ayuk to bring him in to be that wide receiver number 2 behind Davante Adams at number 1, and then put Jacoby in the slot and then Trey Tucker in those special plays? Let me know your thoughts down below. Does this increase the chances of the Raiders trying to make a play for Brandon Ayuk over there with the San Francisco 49ers? And guys, if you want to know about another standout with the Las Vegas Raiders so far, check out this video right here.